Hey, what's up everybody? It's Matt and I am back with another review. This one is on the Matador Seg 42. This is their travel duffel. Mostly, I do a lot of camera bag reviews and stuff like that. I use a lot of duffels to travel with just for clothes and things. A lot of them aren't anything to write home about, so I just wanted to take this one because I kind of finally found the perfect travel bag, at least for me, because most of the time, duffels are just a big duffel. There's nothing to them. You just throw your shit in there and travel with it. If you don't have packing cubes, it can be something that's, a little bit messy, hard to open, just things like that. So I've traveled with a couple over this past year especially, but the past couple of years for various shoots, work trips, things like that. And the Seg duffel by far is my favorite. So I just did a trip with it where I was on the road camping out of it. So it was nice to have everything kind of organized in a way that I could find it and utilize what I needed when I needed it. So let's jump in. We'll talk about all the features that I found I liked, and if there's anything I don't like, I'll hit on that too. But yeah, so looking at the duffel, it's not massive. Like if I were to stand up, it's about my torso sized. It's 42 liters, which, depending on what you need, it's not a massive bag, but it's not small either. So this wouldn't be, they have a smaller one, the Seg 30 that, if you're just going on a couple days, I would pick up that one. But for most of the trip that I'm taking this on, I need to pack for a week or more. I want to throw some extra shoes in there depending on what conditions I'm going to be in. So this one was extra nice for that. But again, it's not massive. You have several handles that you can use to hold it. So 2 on either end, 1 on the side. I don't know which side you'd call that, but yeah, you have a couple different ways to carry it. And then going into the front here, you have several different organization compartments. Now the whole bag itself is 42 liters, but these compartments are organized. They have, the top one is a 6 liter, 9 liter, a 12 liter, a 9 liter, and a 6. And they're labeled so that if you're trying to figure out, hey, I have bulky items, what do I put in there? You can label them as that. Right now I just have it packed out with a couple pairs of pants just to give it some volume so you can see it, but we'll jump in and look at that. But the nice part about this bag is that with all these different organization compartments, you can keep things organized. So I had like underwear and socks in one, shirts in another, pants in another, and then like jackets, a couple other things, just packed in the others. And then I was able to actually pack a couple camera items in there as well, which was really nice because the pack I brought, I didn't have room for a gimbal. So I was able to kind of slide my gimbal in there, and it was padded with all the clothes and everything. So that was really nice. I also packed a couple camp meals in here, a couple snacks and things like that. So it was very nice. So being able to use that was super awesome for this last trip, especially since I was camping out of a tent. So I just had to kind of keep everything organized. I didn't have space to like move it out, in a hotel room or an Airbnb or something. So the zippers function really well. They're waterproof and coated. And in each side, when it's segmented, I'll show you actually right now, the pouches are, pouches, but they're kind of segmented out inside there, so you can kind of see them folding out like that. So you can really see your organization and how they have it laid out, which is really nice. If you don't want to use them and you just want to use it as a duffel, they have a kind of zip up sleeve cover here, I'll call it, that you can unbuckle and fold these pouches up, so you can just use the duffel as it is itself. And one thing too is, even if you do have to unfold it and your pouches are falling out, it's not hard to organize them and stuff them back in. So it's not like an unwieldy bag to use, especially if you're you know, in a camping situation. So that's how that top organization system is laid out, which is really nice. There are a couple lash points on either end here that are hypo-on, so you know they're not going to fail on you. I didn't have to lash it to like a truck roof or anything on this trip, but I've done that with other duffels before. But I wouldn't see this, like I wouldn't do that if you're out in like inclement weather, but if you just need to throw it up there and it's not going to rain or anything, this bag isn't going to, you know, let stuff in because of the zippers and such. So you've got lash points there, you've got some lash points on the side here, and then coming around to the back, you have a couple more lash points here, as well as, or you know, just to attach something on, or these items here for the backpack straps. On either end of the bag, you have a pocket. Oh, I still have snacks and stuff in here, but you have a nice little drop pocket here that's good for snacks. Same thing on the other end, another little drop pocket. So you can use those for things that you might need to access quickly, like gloves, snacks, anything else like that. So you have a lot of pockets and organizations just on the outside of this bag in case you need to utilize it for that. And then on the back panel here, let's throw it around here, you have a laptop pocket that is padded with the backpack here. And you could put like probably a 16-inch laptop in there if you need to. You know, that'd be really just depending on what your use case is with this bag. If you were traveling with this as your one duffel with a laptop, definitely you could use that, but personally I'd rather throw it in a different backpack, so you have that. The back panel here has two little zipper pockets, and within those pockets you have the backpack straps. So you can run this duffel as a backpack if you need it, and it's not super hard to or time consuming to detach or attach. So to do that, you pull them out and you've just got a nice metal hook here that attaches on to the webbing, and you just have to work it on there. And it's nice because, you know, it's not super loose, which, you know, at first I was worried about if I was going to run this as a backpack. I'd be like, man, I don't really want these to fall off, but with how they're built in there, it's not real bad. And then you can toss it on and you've got a sternum strap right there, and the bag can sit on your back. Obviously, you know, depending on the weight, it's going to be interesting because there's really no load lifters there, but just to get through an airport, to get to your hotel or whatever, having that as an option is nice, depending on what else you're carrying. So I probably very rarely will end up using that, just because I'm usually carrying a camera bag or something like that with me, but it is a nice feature to have just in case I need it. There is just a little bit of padding in the back, no like frame or anything like that. So if you want to use this as a backpack, keep that in mind that there's nothing stiff there. So unless you stuck something in the bottom, you would not have enough padding there to really, like, you know, pad you from shoes or any other hard objects if you're going to use this for a long time as a backpack. But again, I think the design behind this was literally just to be able to use this as a transport from one place to another. You're not going to go hiking with this or anything like that. At least I wouldn't. The nice part too is when the zippers are in there, they're nice and clean up on the top here, so they don't flop out. They're tucked in. You don't even really notice that there's backpack straps there. So it's really just a quick, simple duffel. You know, I'll get some close-up shots of everything else for you. But again, I traveled with this a couple weeks ago for about 7 days. Right now I got a blanket in there just to give it space, but you have a big just open spot. I threw my shoes and stuff in there, and it's nice because with how they have it built out, you can throw like a big pair of boots in there and then compress this pocket, you know, down so that the top of your boot has room in there, and then everything else is sitting in your bag. So it really is a bag that allows for a lot of organization within it, and just able to travel really nicely. You can carry it on if you need to. I checked it, had no issues. It actually lasted better than a couple other bags that I did, even just on the 1 or 2 checks times that I used it. But I will definitely be using this bag pretty much as my sole travel bag, unless I have to pack like a lot more. You know, at 42 liters, it does pack out for, you know, a week plus very well. I didn't have to bring a tent or a sleeping bag with me this time. It would be a little small on that side if I had to do that. But definitely check out the Matador Seg bags. The 42 is the one that I used. It's an amazing bag. One that, like I said, I'm going to travel with quite a bit. So there you go. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments, and thanks for watching.